there's something that we should be discerning based upon what's been happening the past few years, which if we were to allow it, this could be seen as a good thing, because this is the most prime opportunity. Crisis is the most prime opportunity for us to acknowledge where we have been too rigid in our own thought behaviors. If you don't know like what tribe or what camp you belong to in times of crisis, just look at those people who are speaking the same language and you'll start to understand. So for me, what I started doing was really trying to find where's the bridging language and topics that cause for people to, on either side of a left-right debate or whatever it might be, the anti versus the pro, any of the things that people have been talking about. I think the opportunity here is to acknowledge what in all of this, how do we zero in on the problem? I think we've been zeroing in on other people who are equally brainwashed, just on the other side of a certain aisle. And zeroing in on a problem doesn't mean that you have to find an enemy. I like the Charles Eisenstein way of looking at it, which is there's this old story, which is us versus them. And, what makes you a part of a clique and a group is finding there to be somebody outside of that group, the them, that is the problem. So identify the boogeyman, identify the enemy, and wage all out war against it. And then you annihilate it. And we've supposedly done that in the past many times. So why does the problem always keep coming back? That is what I would like to point out to more people, is that, do you notice when you whack this mole, it just pops up out of another hole? You whack that one and it pops up out of yet again another hole. And we don't seem to see that it's the same pattern over and over and over again. So instead of being like, it's not my problem, it's all these freaking moles that keep popping up out of these holes. If we were to pause just for a beat and take a breath and say, okay, if I were to take a look underneath, like, what is the world beneath the world? What's the pattern beneath the pattern that I'm picking up on here? It's that I keep falling into the tribalism of, yeah, let's rally the troops, or let's get the angry mob with pitchforks and torches, and let's hunt down that one problem. So you're rallying everybody against the witch, right? Or the blasphemous, whatever it might be, the heretics. And you're going after them. And then you have just enough of a moment where it seems like they're gone, that you get this endorphin rush. And then you get this serotonin feeling like, oh, I'm satisfied. I got what I wanted. And it's the same thing in politics, the left-right thing. Every time the left wins, it's only temporary until they start losing again. And then they get up in arms about it. The same thing with the right. So I guess the discernment that I would be looking for here is, can we identify the largest issue that we're dealing with is the way we decode what we're picking up from primarily, and I mean 95 to 99%, not even face-to-face conversations, but online social media driven stories. How we translate those messages into the way we perceive reality, I would say is the core of the problem, which means that each and every one of us has our own personal responsibility. And I hold everybody accountable, not just the elite, not the 1%, not the rich white male. I hold everybody accountable for acknowledging what makes me want to rise up with my pitchforks and find the boogeyman and annihilate them, and then not realize when it just comes back with a different face and I'm the same mad, I'm the same angry, I grab the same pitchfork and I go after yet another thing that the media or social media is telling me to go after. That's probably the number one discernment that I would like people to see, is like, let's start not pointing the finger of blame back at ourselves, but laugh at the cosmic joke for a second. The cosmic joke is it keeps happening over and over again. And if you were to think, if we are in a simulation, because some people are like, we coded ourselves and our real true higher self is looking at this avatar. and most of the time just shaking its head like, you're not figuring this out. It's simple, man. It just keeps happening and comes back with a new face. Like, when are you going to realize it's all you? Laugh, realize the joke of it. And the joke is, there's real skin in the game for sure. There's real threat in this world, and you can lose your life. You can make decisions that harm other people. So don't take it so flippantly that, it's just a game and nobody ever gets hurt. No, realize that you are also here to learn. So there's a bit of gravity to the decisions we make. But then again, acknowledge that, man, like I've been repeating the same pattern. And I think that's where people's anxiety and depression is coming from, because there's a part of our consciousness that is awake to the game, but our awakened consciousness keeps overriding it with such seriousness and anger and fervor and buggy eyes, saying, I know who the real tyrant is. And the finger is always pointing out there at the simulation somehow.